Has China turned solar panels into strategic weapons?
Chinese-made solar panels were installed around the world just last year. Then it's come out of the U.S. in its entire history.
Picture this. Every single second, China installs nearly 100 solar panels. Not every minute, not every hour, every single second. While America debates energy policy, China installs nearly 100 solar panels every single second, having achieved the mind-boggling milestone of 1 terawatt of solar capacity in May 2025. That's 1,000 gigawatts, more than 8 times America's total solar capacity of just 121 gigawatts. In 2024 alone, China installed 277 gigawatts, more than double America's entire historical solar build-out. The consequences extend far beyond clean energy. With electricity costs 2.5 to 3 times cheaper than American power, China gains devastating advantages in manufacturing, artificial intelligence, and every sector of the future economy. As Chinese firms control 80% of global solar manufacturing and half the world's polysilicon production, America's energy security hangs in the balance. Made more alarming by the discovery of hidden communication devices in Chinese solar inverters that could potentially cripple power grids. This isn't just about climate leadership. It's nothing less than a 21st century space race that will determine which nation harnesses the 10,000 times more powerful than all human sources energy of our sun, and with it, control over the global economy for generations to come. This video is an investigation into how China is winning the race to become the world's first electrostate, while America remains largely unaware the competition has even begun. While America once led the world in innovation, China has methodically built a solar juggernaut that now makes the US look like it's standing still. In May 2025, China crossed a threshold that seemed impossible just a decade ago, surpassing 1 terawatt of installed solar capacity. That's 1,000 gigawatts of power harvested directly from the sun. How did China leave America so far behind? What does this mean for the future of global power? And most importantly, is there still time for the US to catch up, or has the race already been decided? These questions aren't just academic. They cut to the heart of which nation will control the economy of tomorrow. Will it be America, clinging to fossil fuels of the past, or China, building the clean energy infrastructure of the future? The scale of China's solar dominance is almost impossible to comprehend, but the numbers don't lie. In 2024 alone, China installed 277 gigawatts of solar capacity. To put that in perspective, that's more than twice the total amount of solar capacity that exists in the entire United States. Let that sink in. In just 1 year, China built more than double what America has built in its entire history. By May 2025, China's solar capacity crossed the 1 terawatt mark, a milestone that seemed unimaginable just a few years ago. The United States, trailing far behind with roughly 121 gigawatts, just about 1/8 of China's capacity. But it gets worse. China isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. In May 2025 alone, China installed 93 gigawatts of solar. That's nearly 100 solar panels every single second. This single month of installation in China generated enough electricity to power an entire country like Poland or Sweden. Between January and May 2025, China added 198 gigawatts of solar power, enough to generate the same amount of electricity as Indonesia or Turkey consumes in a year. These aren't just numbers. They represent a fundamental shift in global energy dynamics that will reshape our world. And if you think the gap might close soon, think again. China currently has more than 720 gigawatts of additional solar capacity in development, 250 gigawatts under construction, 300 gigawatts in pre-construction, and 177 gigawatts of announced projects. One of these megaprojects, the Great Solar Wall, will span 250 miles across Inner Mongolia when completed in 2030. But perhaps you're thinking, so what? America can catch up, right? If only it were that simple. China's dominance isn't just in installed capacity, it's in manufacturing too. As of 2024, Chinese firms lead in virtually every part of the solar supply chain. Polysilicon, silicon wafers, batteries, and photovoltaic modules. The stark reality? China produces about 80% of the world's solar panels. When it comes to polysilicon, a key component in solar panel production, China controls about half of the global supply, with a significant portion coming from Xinjiang province. This manufacturing supremacy isn't an accident. It's the result of decades of strategic government support and investment. Since China's sixth five-year plan in 1981, the Chinese government has consistently supported solar panel manufacturing. This long-term vision has paid enormous dividends. In 2010, the China Development Bank provided $20 billion in financing to domestic solar manufacturers, a massive investment that helped create economies of scale and drive down costs. The results speak for themselves. Between 2010 and 2020, the price of photovoltaic modules dropped by a staggering 85%. Meanwhile, in America, support for solar has been inconsistent at best, subject to the whims of changing administrations. While the Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act provided significant incentives for clean energy development, Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill now threatens to strip away tax credits and subsidies that have fueled American solar growth. The One Big Beautiful Bill's abrupt repeal would cause severe and immediate harm. It could even destabilize the entire American solar industry. According to the Solar Energy Industries Association, this legislation puts at risk up to 330,000 jobs and 331 US factories. While America debates whether to continue supporting clean energy, China forges ahead, building manufacturing capacity that could produce an entire US worth of electricity generation every single year. The question is no longer whether China leads in solar. It's whether anyone else has a chance to catch up. This isn't just about electricity, it's about power in every sense of the word. As Elon Musk pointed out in 2025, solar power in China will exceed all sources of electricity combined in the USA in 3 to 4 years. Wake up call. The implications are profound. In a world increasingly driven by electrification, the country that controls energy production controls the future economy. China's solar dominance translates directly into economic advantage. Cheaper electricity means cheaper everything else, from manufacturing to artificial intelligence. One analyst calculated that China's massive solar capacity gives it electricity that is 2.5 to 3 times cheaper than American power. This cost advantage ripples through every sector of the economy, creating competitive advantages in production, technology development, and more. Beyond economics, there are serious security concerns. In May 2025, Reuters reported that US energy officials were reassessing the risk posed by Chinese-made solar inverters after unexplained communication equipment was found inside some devices. These rogue communication devices could potentially allow firewalls to be circumvented remotely, with catastrophic consequences for power grids. Former NSA Director Mike Rogers warned, "We know that China believes there is value in placing at least some elements of our core infrastructure at risk of destruction or disruption." This is the dark side of dependence on Chinese solar technology, a dependence that grows more entrenched every day America falls further behind. But the biggest implication may be what this means for climate leadership. While China never officially signed the COP28 commitment to triple renewable energy capacity, it has effectively taken global leadership in actually building clean energy infrastructure. By the end of 2024, China had already reached its 2030 target of 1,200 gigawatts of combined solar and wind capacity, 6 years ahead of schedule. The message is clear. While America debates whether climate change is real, China is building the clean energy economy of the future. If you're finding this information valuable, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the New Diplomat channel. It helps us reach more viewers like you who care about understanding the true value of renewable energy. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest insights. What we're witnessing is nothing less than a race to become what scientists call a Type 1 civilization. A civilization that can harness all the energy available on its planet. China is winning the race to Type 1 civilization, and we're not even aware it's happening. By 2030, China will have the manufacturing capacity to build an entire US worth of generation from solar and storage alone every single year. The implications are staggering. Solar energy represents the largest untapped energy resource on our planet. Sunlight striking Earth provides about 10,000 times more energy than all human energy sources combined. The country that masters the technology to efficiently harness this energy will have an almost limitless power source at its disposal. This is the space race of the 21st century, with the potential to lift humanity into an unprecedented era of abundance. But it will dramatically shift the balance of global power. The tools that harness the power of the sun are the tools that unlock power at planetary scale. This is not a race that we can afford to ignore. Yet America seems largely oblivious to the competition. While China races ahead with historic investments in solar technology, American policy fluctuates with each administration. The current administration's Big Beautiful Bill threatens to pull the plug on vital tax incentives for solar development, potentially setting back US clean energy progress by years. I don't think people understand how fast this race is. In May, Chinese solar generated over 100 terawatt hours. China has the manufacturing capacity to build an entire US nuclear fleet worth of generation from solar and storage every year. The USA is not even aware of the race. So what can America do? Is it too late to catch up? The situation is dire, but not hopeless, if America acts decisively and immediately. First, policy stability is essential. The constant flip-flopping on clean energy incentives has created an environment where investors are hesitant to make long-term commitments. Any serious attempt to compete with China must include consistent long-term support for solar development. Second, America needs a manufacturing strategy. While the Inflation Reduction Act spurred investments in domestic solar manufacturing capacity, much more is needed. Strategic investments in the entire solar supply chain, from raw materials to finished panels, would reduce dependence on Chinese imports. Third, infrastructure is crucial. One advantage America has is its robust electrical grid, though even this needs significant upgrades to handle increased solar capacity. China has faced challenges with curtailment, the inability to use all the solar energy it produces due to transmission limitations. America could learn from these challenges and build a more efficient system from the start. Finally, America needs a vision. A recognition that solar energy isn't just about reducing carbon emissions, but about economic and strategic power in the 21st century. The nation that leads in solar will lead in virtually every other sector of the future economy. China is emerging as the world's first electro-state, the advanced superpower of this century, which could well be the Chinese century. Trump's doddering old tattered America, blighted with toxic fracking pools and oil spills, is staggering into the new century on arthritic knees. This stark assessment may be harsh, but it reflects a growing recognition that America's energy choices today will determine its place in the global hierarchy tomorrow. The solar revolution is here, and China is leading it. The numbers are clear, the trend is established, and the implications are profound. While America once led the world in technological innovation, China has methodically built a solar juggernaut that threatens to leave the United States permanently behind. The country that harnesses the power of the sun will harness the power of the future, economically, strategically, and geopolitically. The question for America is simple but urgent. Will it recognize the scale of the challenge and respond with the bold, consistent policies needed to compete? Or will it continue to debate while China builds the clean energy infrastructure that will power the next century? The clock is ticking, and every day of inaction widens the gap. China installs more solar in 1 month than the total energy the US uses. This isn't just about energy, it's about which nation will lead the world in the decades to come. The solar revolution is happening with or without America. The choice is whether to join it or be left behind in its dust. If you found this video informative, please smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with others who need to understand the value of renewable energy. Your support enables us to continue bringing you the in-depth analysis you won't find elsewhere. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today.